Welcome back, Nintendo collectors. Alex here with another video. Hope you're well, guys. The old Owl Boy is back. How you all doing? It's been a long time, isn't it? 3 months, I think, since I last did a video. Of course, as you all know, or maybe you don't know, that I have actually moved house, which was extremely stressful. Moved all my stuff on my own, pretty much. Hired a Luton. And I realised what a stupid hobby that I've actually got myself into, collecting arcade machines, because it's crazy moving this stuff around. Should have been collecting stamps or something like that, because it would have been a lot easier. But honestly, guys, it was really stressful. But we're here. I'm happy. I've got 2 rooms now for my games, which is absolutely fantastic. And it's all in the house, which is what I've always wanted. Not down the end of the garden being raided by a load of pikeys, which I was always worried about. But yeah, it's warm. All the games are at room temperature, which is great. And it's just a nicer, warmer, cozier feel about the place. So I'm really, really chuffed. The move went really well, to be honest with you, but it went on and on and on. I mean, for one day I hired the Luton for all the arcade machines, and then for all the other stuff I just used my little Suzuki Carry to move all my other stuff, and that just took forever. And then we had to keep going back to clean the old house, which has only recently been done, and hand over the keys. Still waiting on deposit money. Just hope he delivers on that. But other than that, it's been good. I will do a little game room tour a little bit later on in the video. It's not quite finished yet. Need to sort the lighting out in here. It's poor lighting, and obviously I need to put some more artwork up. I bought a few things for the room, a few charity cabinets and stuff like that. I had to let a few things go because obviously they don't fit in this room. But the main change really was the arcade machines. And I knew this would happen. As soon as I knew we was going to have to move, it was going to be very difficult for me to find a place with the space for all my arcade machines and the console room. So to begin with, we were looking at houses. Now the trouble with houses is you've got 2 floors on the ground floor and 2 rooms above. So that means really I need another outhouse for my games, which was really difficult. This side of Christmas, it was impossible to find, especially in London. Crazy, crazy prices. So I had the idea of maybe a bungalow. If we rented a bungalow with an extra bedroom, then that extra bedroom could be used to house my games. So that's what we did. Started looking at bungalows, and we found this fantastic place. It's got more than enough rooms for all my games, but it means that I can no longer have any projects. I don't want arcade machines in here from raids, dusty, dirty, mouldy. You know, I just can't have that anymore. I need mint working games that I'm going to play. So I've had to rethink my whole collection. Not my console collection, that's staying put. Just my arcade collection, and I'm fine with it. I've come to terms with it because I've managed to keep hold of all my Nintendo games, but I've had to let a few go. I had to let Space Invaders go, which was heartbreaking. I had that game. Nostalgia, memories from back when I was a kid, when I played it with my best friend Tom Knight, who passed away when he was very young, and it brought back loads of nostalgia, and I really wanted to hold on to that, but that had to go. Not because of space, because I needed some money. I needed some money as well, because this whole move cost like £4,000, which was just crazy. So, and also, yeah, so what I'm thinking is I also had to sell the M4, which was that game that I got from the French raid. That was a massive project. Lovely, rare, black and white game, but just haven't got the time or space for working on a big project like that. Not in the house either. I'd need an outhouse, somewhere like that, to start stripping it down and cutting metal, you know, and all that sort of stuff. So that actually went to Spain, and the Space Invaders went to Spain as well. A collector over there got it for his arcade, which was cool. I've still got the video pinball. That's all working, which I'll show you a bit later. I've got the Battle Zone. That's working, but they will be going because they're not games I've desired, and since I've owned them, I find them quite boring, to be honest with you. But they are fantastic games, but just not for me. They're just not my type of game. I think if I had more room, then I'd hold on to them. But the fact that I've got I've got more room, but the space is different, if you know what I mean, because it's in the house. So I want mint games, and I want the games I really, really want. So actually, it was really good to go up to the arcade club last week with Retro Dave Nintendo, who's just finished his game room. Actually, we had a fantastic time, played some great games, and it was good to do that, because normally you go up to the arcade club and you just chat and you never get a chance to play anything. This time we went up there and we just killed it. We nailed every game, and it was a blast. We had so much fun. We played Donkey Kong, we played Robotron, I played Astro Blaster, Centipede, Paperboy. I mean, just non-stop. It was brilliant. Absolutely loved it. And I realised, man, these are the games I want in my arcade, you know. These are the ones I always go back to. So I'm looking for a Robotron and Centipede this year. So Video Pinball will go, Battlezone will go, and hopefully with that money I'll be able to get a Robotron or a Centipede. So if you've got one and you want to trade with me, you know where I'm at. So yeah, that was a great night out, Dave. That was a fantastic night, dude. And check out Retro Dave. Nintendo's got his own YouTube channel. He's just extended his game room, and he's got some fantastic Nintendo arcade machines, which is great, because I need another competitor. It's always good to have someone to score against with these old games. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with the arcades, guys. Not saying that I'm getting out of it. I'm just saying once I've got the ones I really want, that'll be it for a while until I move house again. So where I want to concentrate the collection now going forward is probably the Virtual Boy. I want to finish that collection. I've got the Famicom Mini Game Boy Advanced Volume 2 I'm still looking for, which actually I haven't showed you yet. We'll maybe have a look at that a bit later. Also, I want to start a new collection for the Famicom Disk System. I don't have a Famicom Disk yet, but I'm looking to get one. I think it's a pretty cool system. A Vectrex this year, definitely want to start collecting for. And obviously Switch and the Super Nintendo. As always, look at the Super Nintendo wall, guys. Isn't that cool? A whole bookshelf full of Super Nintendo games, which I never had before. All my games are all on that shelf at one given time. Now I've got 2 bookshelves, which I'll show you a bit later, which is really cool. I picked up some new SNES games as well, but we'll save that for a Super Nintendo video. So the plans is, going forward, guys, a video every week, hopefully, if I can get one out there. I'm going to be around for a long time. I'm not one of these guys that suddenly just pack up and go, or sell my collection off. If I have to sell something, it's because of a very good reason, like I've had to move or make room for something. But I've been collecting since I was 7 or 8. I don't do this to get subs. I do this because I love doing it, and I love the community, and I just love this hobby. It's brilliant. And it's great to have you on board. And thanks for all the support as well, guys, that you gave me in my last video for when I moved, because it really did cheer me up. It was absolutely great, and I needed it. So thank you so much for that. And it's I'll tell you what, guys, you're absolutely brilliant. So going forward, guys, this is where I'm at. So better move on quickly, because we're already into this video, 8 minutes. We're going to do pickups and what I've been playing, and then I'm going to give you a whole game room tour of what I've got so far. Here we go. Right, guys, even though I've had quite a busy last 2-3 months, I've actually managed to squeeze in quite a few games, believe it or not. And this game, I think it came out in the summertime, Metroid Samus Returns, which is basically Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. Was itching to play this. You know how much of a Metroid fan I am, guys, and I just was dying to play this game. Didn't want to read any reviews really. I just wanted to play it for myself and just see what it's like. And I picked it up just before I moved, and I have to say, for the first couple of hours, I wasn't that impressed. Graphically, it looked great. I loved the art style. I think Samus looked brilliant. Very tall and slender and very agile character now, which she never used to be. I think she was a little bit sort of, not clumsy, but a little bit a little bit clunky, if you like, but now she's very agile. She looks fantastic, and the whole game's got the atmosphere that you expect from any Metroid game. The thing that bothered me to begin with was the counter-strike, and it seemed like you had to counter-strike on every enemy that you met, and it was starting to get to me, and I had to tweet a couple of guys. I think I tweeted you, Russ, and Ty as well, if you're watching in America. And I just said, guys, what do you think of this game? Because right now I'm struggling, you know, because what the Counter-Strike does is, when you're confronted with an enemy, you're not powerful enough. Well, you are powerful enough to just shoot it down, but it takes quite a while. But the Counter-Strike is a lot quicker, but it slows the pace of the game down, because you have to stop and wait for them to attack before you can counter. And with that counter, it literally destroys them instantly. I just thought that it slowed the whole pace of the game down, and I didn't like it. But then my mate Ross, he said, just stick with it. You'll get more powerful, and the Counter-Strike will be, well, it won't be so significant. You know, you won't have to do the Counter-Strike if you don't want to. But as it turned out, the Counter-Strike with some of the bigger enemies turned out to be the thing I'd love doing the most, because it wasn't necessary to do it all the time, and when you got to the bigger bosses, the Counter-Strike turned into another move, and it was just absolutely awesome. I loved this game. This game was the highlight for me for 2017, one of the best games I've played. And I don't know, I just don't know what I was expecting. I knew it was going to be good. It's a Metroid game. I love Metroid. I knew I was going to like it, but I didn't think it was going to be this good. It just got better and better and better. The atmosphere, the whole feeling of being alone. There's no other game like Metroid for that feeling. There's no dialogue. It's just straight out, balls out gameplay, which I absolutely love. Just the skill sets you need. It's all about you being a good game player, and it rewards good game playing. It's just an awesome game. And I finished it, and I want to go back and 100% it, but unfortunately I deleted my save. I don't know how I done that. Really gutted, really pissed off with myself. But I'm going to go back and finish it again. I'm going to 100% it because I loved it that much, and I just can't wait for the new Metroid Prime. It's going to be awesome. And also, guys, I've managed to pre-order from First for Figures the Samus, full-size Samus figurine, which I've wanted for a long time. I've got the gunship up there from First for Figures. I've actually pre-ordered the Samus figure as well, so I can't wait for that. It's September this year, which is when you get it, so really looking forward to that. So yeah, that was a highlight for me. Super Mario Odyssey was a great game. I really enjoyed it, but I have to say I'm not a Mario guy, believe it or not. You must find it ridiculous being a Nintendo guy. I'm much more of a Zelda guy, and a Metroid guy, and an F-Zero guy, and a Punch-Out guy. I like Mario, but I realise that he's not my favourite. It's not my favourite genre, because a lot of people I see are going back and once they've completed it, they're going back and getting all the moons. They're trying to complete it all. I just don't have that in me to do all of that. I enjoy doing that more in games like Metroid and Zelda, but Mario I just find quite frustrating, to be honest with you. It's just me though. It's not the game, it's just me. I just find this twitchy kind of jumping around, and that camera angle did annoy me slightly on a few levels. I don't know, I just find it frustrating, but it's just me, it's not the game. The game's absolutely brilliant, absolutely fantastic, just made you happy, and Isabella really enjoyed it as well, so it's good to finish that. But that's it, I'm not going back and doing any more. Well, I might delve into it now and again, but I'm not too bothered, because I've got other games on the go. Like, this is a fantastic game. I know I've gone on about this before. This is like the sort of game that I played on the Sinclair Spectrum by Julian Gollop, who pretty much created this whole genre of game, which is basically like UFO, Enemy Unknown. It's brilliant. Absolutely loved it. I'm nearly finished it. I think I've got one more world to do. I'm just doing a bit here and there, maybe a couple of hours a week, you know, just delving in with other games, and it's just brilliant. Every level's brilliant. Just a fantastic game, really is. Got Simora EX. I don't know why I picked this up, because I did have it on the 360 and I thought it was average, so I don't know why I picked it. I think it was 20 quid. I just wanted to shoot them up on the Switch. But the best sort of shoot 'em up I've found so far on the Switch has to be The Butcher. If you haven't played The Butcher, play The Butcher. Killed that game, nailed it, absolutely brilliant. It's a cross between Doom and Robotron or something like that. It's just crazy, all out gore. It's out there. Brilliant game. I think it's only like, it's under a tenner, 7-8 quid for The Butcher. It's DLC only, but it's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, they're the games I've been playing, and that's quite a lot really in 3 months for me, especially with the move. So pretty impressed with that. I'm actually looking forward to getting Skyrim, because I've never played it. I also want to get Oxenverge. Is it Oxenverge? Which is basically another Metroid game. It's had fantastic reviews. A very interesting game. I really want to play that. And yeah, that's it. That's all I can see at the moment. Smash Bros is going to come out this year, so that would be definitely one on my list. But pickups wise, guys, quite a lot of pickups as well. Some really cool pickups. I managed to get hold of the US NTSC new 3DS, which I've wanted, and I've got a nice little collection going over here. This with the classic American SNES Mini. They look fantastic together. I'm a Super Nintendo collector. I had to get these. I've got the Japanese one coming. All I need to complete is the PAL new 3DS, and that's my collection complete for the SNES range. I think it looks absolutely awesome. This is brilliant as well, guys. Really, really is cool. I'm not going to open it up because I'm pretty sure you've seen enough videos on that. But that was lovely to pick up. I also went to an auction. I've never been to an auction before and seen so many video games on offer, and I got overexcited. And with all of these auctions, you get carried away with the bidding, and ended up bidding on stuff. I realised, you know what, I've paid pretty much the going rate for this stuff, so I won't be doing that again. Tootie, you were right, mate. They're a waste of time. It's very difficult to find a bargain anywhere these days, guys. I find more bargains on eBay, to be honest with you, when no one's looking. But I did pick up this. I paid a tenner for it. I guess that's not too bad. It's got the Game Boy in there, but honestly, guys, it's pretty yellow. Was that the one? No, I did get another one as well. I've got this one. Let me just show you this one, guys. If I can reach it. Sorry, that was, I think this was 30 and this was 20. This was the better deal actually, because it has some games inside it which I could probably flip on. It's got Pokemon Red, Dragon Quest, what's the other one? Super Mario Land 2, Golden Coins. It's got a Game Boy Color in there, the blue one, in a pretty grubby state. I'll probably clean up quite nicely actually, but I've already got one of these. So, I don't know, yeah, I'll probably move that on, to be honest with you. But still, couldn't leave it behind. It's Nintendo. You just get carried away with the bidding, and you end up just paying the going rate at these auctions, because everyone's at it, everyone's there. You know, it's just crazy. I did actually pick up a Super Nintendo as well, a box one, but I'll save that for the SNES videos. This next pickup is really cool. Look at this. Isn't this awesome? This is Gunman for the Famicom, and it's a box I've never seen. I've never seen this box for this game before. It's unique, absolutely unique. It comes with the gun and the holster. Look at that. How cool is that? So you can stick that on the holster. Is it the holster? The holster? It's the holster, isn't it? The holster. Stick the holster on with the gun. Play the game from the TV. Look like a rock plonker. But it's good. I like it. Look at that. How cool is that? I thought it was just awesome. Lovely bit of Nintendo history there. With some fantastic box art. Look at that. That's so cool, isn't it? We'll be playing a bit of that later. Also, I picked up some more NES classics for the Game Boy Advance. Got a nice little collection of that going on. Got a nice little gift from James, Retro Games Party. Don't know what this game's like. It's the N64 and it's sealed. It's called Body Harvest. Never played it. I haven't even got an N64. I need to pick up an N64 this year and get Robotron. Doom. I've had these games before, sold them. Need to get them back in the collection. Oh yeah, forgot to show you this. This is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I haven't had time for this. I knew I wouldn't have time for this. It's such a big game. I've played a little bit of it, but because of the move, I've just realised I haven't got time to sit there and play this, because I've been playing really short, quick games of stuff. And like Metroid on the 3DS was just so easy to pick up and play, but I just realised I'm going to have to pick this up some other time. Just don't have the time right now, but it's had fantastic reviews. And great to see such a big game like this on the Switch getting the love that it needs. Really, really cool. Also, I picked up, these are really nice, Elevator Action on the Japanese Game Boy. I love the arcade version of this. It's a fantastic game. I've played this. It plays alright. It's got all the music there. The gameplay is exactly the same. Obviously a little bit smaller on the screen. But look at the artwork on the box, guys. Really cool. Fell in love with this box art straight away. So I've got a nice little Japanese Game Boy collection coming along. R-Type on the Game Boy as well. Love this game. Played this at the arcade club on a Nintendo cabinet. God, do I want that cabinet. It's so cool. Have you never seen an R-Type in a Nintendo cabinet? That's right, Nintendo did house R-Type in the arcades. Such a cool game. So cool. Look at that. And I've played this on the Game Boy and it plays really well actually. Really, really good. So that was a nice pickup. Also picked up my first Famicom disc game, which is Twinbee. There's something really cute about picking up these games. I mean, I don't know why I never started collecting these before. I don't know, there's just something about them that fascinates me. I just find them really, really cool. Let's open it up, just show you. You've probably seen these before. If it will open up. There we go. So there's your disc system. I haven't got the actual disc system yet, but that is my next thing to get. So it comes with the instructions there. Look at the artwork, guys. Isn't it cool? And it comes with this lovely little Nintendo logo at the bottom here, which stops piracy apparently, because it's sort of embossed into the cart, into the disc, which is really nice. So I think that would make a nice little collection. Not too expensive either, which is nice. So I'm looking forward to building that collection up for the Famicom disc system. Also I picked up Parasol Stars for the Game Boy. Haven't played this yet, but I know, and I've played it before. It's a great game. Be interesting to see how it plays on the Game Boy. Hopefully I'll do a few gameplay videos soon in upcoming videos, guys. But I've got so much to say, so much to show you in this video. I won't be doing any gameplays unfortunately, but definitely in the next one. Isn't that cool? Look at that artwork. So cool. And I managed to pick up a lovely Virtual Boy game, Virtual Fishing, which I haven't played yet. Don't know anything about this game. Usually goes for quite a lot of money, this game, but I managed to pick it up for £49, which is quite good for a Virtual Boy game, especially in this condition. Look at that. So I've got 10 Virtual Boy games now. Have I got 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, no, 11 Virtual Boy games, so I'm getting there. Hopefully this year we complete this collection. So I hope you can join me on my journey to complete the Virtual Boy collection. Let me know if you've got any Virtual Boy games you want to trade or do anything with. Be very interested, guys. Such a great little system, really is. And that is it. that is it. That's all my pickups for, well, since the last time I saw you, which is quite a lot, and I've been playing quite a lot, and I think this year is going to be a big year. It's going to be so much stuff to get, and I think what with the Switch sales that have gone through the roof, they've just announced mega sales. Like, this could be Nintendo's biggest selling console ever. I just think everybody's going to jump on board. There's going to be just so many games being released for it. It's going to be hard to keep up with the system, to be honest with you, especially if you're into retro collecting as well. So we just have to wait and see. So that's it, guys. All my pickups, what I've been playing. Now I want to show you my whole setup so far. It's not perfect. It's not exactly how I want it, but I just want to get this video here, let you know where I'm at with my collection and where it's going. So without further ado, this is the new Nintendo Arcade. Check this out. So welcome to the new Nintendo Arcade. This is it, guys. This is what I've been working on the last few weeks, trying to get it set up all over Christmas. Very stressful, I have to say, and I still haven't really got it how I want it. It's missing loads of artwork in here. And, you know, a lot of the artwork that I had in the old arcade doesn't work in this arcade. So, you know, it's going to evolve over the years, and hopefully I'll get it how I want it. So as you can see straight away, I've got the lineup in the same position that I had in the other arcade, Sheriff in the middle and the two Donkey Kongs either side. And then I've got a gap here for another cab, and then I've got Sky Skipper separated all on his own. Now the reason why I've done that is because Sky Skipper to me is really, really special, and I like looking at the side art, because obviously a lot of work was done on this, thanks to Ollie, Muddy Music, did all of this vectorizing of the original scans from Nintendo of America of the original cabinet, the only one that was left in NOA. And I just like to look at the artwork, and it just takes you back to the whole of 2017 and that whole project that we did with this whole game. So the plans are really with this room is to get two games that for me mean a lot in terms of gameplay, games that I always go back to. I can't have any more projects in this room because it's in the house. It's a lovely modern house, and I don't want dirty, mouldy, rusty old cabs in here to work on. They've got to be mint, and they've got to be games I want to play. And as you know, guys, I've got a habit of picking up cabinets. I feel sorry for them. I want to restore them, get them going. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that for a while until I move now. So, but that's okay. I've come to terms with that. I'm quite happy at the thought of getting two really cool cabs. And what I'm looking out for is a Robotron and a Centipede. And that's it. I might change a couple of the cocktails around, but that is it now for me. So those are the two cabinets I will be looking for in 2018. And both of them will go in this room. And Sky Skipper, I think I might separate and put in my other room, but I haven't decided that yet. So this is it, guys. So in this left-hand corner here, I've got the extremely rare Sega Sheriff Trimline. Now this is the only one known in the world. I don't know if you guys know this, but Sega distributed a lot of Nintendo games in the late 70s, early 80s. Nintendo was just getting into the arcade market, and Sega had been around a lot longer in the arcades than Nintendo, and they just said, well, we'll distribute this game for you. Sega did a few games in this cabinet. They did a Frogger, and they did a Carnival, and they did an Astro Blaster. But this is the only known Nintendo game in this Sega cabinet. But if you look at the Space Launcher flyer, according to that flyer, they did make a space launcher in this game. So maybe somewhere out there, guys, there is still a Nintendo space launcher waiting to be found in this cabinet. It is a beautiful cabinet. It's one of a kind, and it is one of the jewels in my collection, believe it or not. It's got all the Japanese writing on there. It's just an awesome game. And if you've been following my channel, Sheriff is a game that I absolutely love. It's a game I played back in the day. And many years ago, I just took it out myself to hunt this game down. And it has got quite a bit of a history, actually, Sheriff. It was one of the first games that Miyamoto actually worked on. And it's the only real game with this kind of knob 8-way control system. It's almost like an early twin stick shooter, so it's quite important because you can't actually play it in MAME. Very difficult to play. It's still got the ashtray on there, so it's like an executive model of the cocktail version, which is really, really cool. You can imagine the Japanese standing here at the bar with their drinks on here, playing a game of Sheriff. It's all working. I haven't plugged it in, but it is all working. So yeah, that's the first cabinet, which is nice actually, because that cabinet was in my other house. It was up on the second floor where no one could see it. It was never in my arcade, so it's nice to have that in with the other machines now, and next to the other Nintendo cabinet of Sheriff, which is just as rare. There are only 4 known cabinets of this game. There's actually a guy, I think, in Europe who's called Alexis actually as well. He owns the game in his cabinet. There was a Sheriff upright that turned up in Japan a couple of years ago, but that was missing the game and the monitor. And I do believe, oh that's it, on Ollie's got the Sega Sheriff upright. So actually there's only 3 Nintendo uprights and 1 Sega Sheriff upright. Very rare game, extremely rare game, but a significant game for Nintendo really. For me, this is where it all started with Nintendo. If you look at a lot of Nintendo's earlier games, they're quite bland. This one's got a lot of colour, it's got a lot of character. As you can see, Miyamoto's touch on all the artwork. It's absolutely incredible. It's one of my favourite control panels I've ever seen. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got a half mirror effect there as well, like Space Invaders. It's absolutely brilliant game. And down here you've got these little characters here, which are the gangs chasing poor old Betty. And it almost looks like a Game & Watch, the Game & Watch characters. Very, very cool. You can't see the artwork, guys, but it's got a really cool condor there on the side with Nintendo Sheriff. Absolutely beautiful machine. And that is, again, another jewel in my collection. I've got 4 jewels in my collection, and it's hard to pick the best one. Donkey Kong for me is one of the first games I ever played. I remember playing this at Crystal Palace Racecourse and absolutely love this. Probably not on an original upright, but probably on a cocktail back in the day. It's a little bit worn, a little bit tattered, but I kind of like that. It's authentic. It's really, really cool. The sides are really good, actually. It's just got the old holes there where the security bar went across the coin door. It just needs a new instruction decal there underneath the bezel, but other than that, it's really, really good. Up there, I've got my Kong Off 2 marquee signed by Billy Mitchell, Hank Chan, who else is on there? Steve Weeb and Jeff Wilms. They were the top 4 Donkey Kong players at that time in 2012. So that's really, really cool. And then next to Sheriff, I've got my Donkey Kong Jr., which is one of my favourite games, and it's also got in there Donkey Kong Jr. Remix, which is absolutely brilliant, and that was from Daniel Copeland. Thank you, Daniel, for giving me that. I'm having a lot of fun with that, and now I've got it in here all set up. I will be doing a gameplay video of that very soon. And then, of course, I've got the gap there, which I'll either put Robotron or Centipede in. Haven't decided yet when I get that. And of course, the beautiful, an unreleased game by Nintendo, which is Sky Skipper. If you've been following my channel, you know that this game I picked up a few years ago now. And we basically got invited into Nintendo of America, and they let us scan the only known remaining cabinet left in the world, because they destroyed 11 of them. There was 12 made. The executive there at NOA decided to keep one of them, and this is the one that we went in and scanned for artwork to replicate the cabinet, because it's running original hardware. I've got original Sky Skipper board in there, which is really, really cool. So yeah, that's my cab, got it back. It's fantastic to have that up and running now in the arcade. Really, really cool. Again, that's the jewel in my collection, and really, Sky Skipper is all about me, really. It says a lot about me and what I do, my passion in the hobby, because, you know, when I first started collecting these games, I just wanted to hunt down every single Nintendo game and look into their whole history, and it just turned out that this game was an unreleased game. So really chuffed to have that in the collection. It's really, really cool. So this is it. This is the arcade, guys. So this is it. As soon as you walk in this door, you're in this room. I can't really have any on this side because this is like the walkthrough. But that's fine, because if I have parties over here, there's enough room in this space for people to mingle, chat, and, you know, just play games, which is cool. So now moving into the next room. It's an adjoining room. This is console room stroke arcade, because there's 4 arcades in here, as you can see straight away. I've got the Space Launcher Cocktail, which is another extremely rare game. This is the only known Space Launcher cocktail in existence, and it's got the original ROM set on there with SDL on the ROM set, so it's extremely rare. It's a fantastic game. But if you do want to play Space Launcher, and you've got a Space Fever cocktail like this one over here, you can actually just do a ROM swap to play that game. Another game that you can actually play on here is Space Fever High Splitter, which is another very early Nintendo game, which I've actually got running in that cabinet in the Space Fever, which I haven't turned on yet. So let's go and turn that on, actually, because you guys have probably never seen a Space Launcher Space Fever High Splitter. So here we go. So my good friend Victor burned the ROMs for me for this game. It's an extremely rare game. I've never seen the original artwork for this game. Let's just move that game and watch out of the way. But you can see it's pretty much like Space Invaders Part 2, where the aliens, the invaders, split into 2 parts when you hit them. It's a very cool early Nintendo game, and very cool to have in the collection, but it is very awkwardly placed in this room, so not sure if that's staying or going right now. But here's 2 games that I did pick up early this year. The Atari Video Pinball, which was from the France raid, and the Battle Zone was actually from France as well. They were both in really bad states. But again, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep these. In fact, I know I'm not going to keep these because they're just not me. I've been playing them, and to be honest with you, I've got fairly bored of them fairly quickly. I find Battle Zone quite punishing. I know people get really high scores in this, but I've seen the way they get high scores in it, and to me it's not appealing enough. But it is a cool game. It's a cool vector game. I do like it, but there are plenty of other games I would rather have than this. And when you've got a limited space and it's in your house, you really just want the games that either really mean a lot to you, or they're the games that you really want to play constantly. And these 2 aren't. You know, they're just not. I mean, this Video Pinball is absolutely incredible looking cabinet. This is 1978. This is like a cross between electrical mechanical games and raster games. It's got a raster monitor in there, black and white raster monitor, as you can see. But up here you've got like a physical playing field, which is reflected through a half mirror, which gives the illusion that you're actually playing on an actual pinball arcade machine. Now if I just pull down on the plunger, it's actually got a plunger here, look, that you pull, the ball goes flying up, and then you've got flippers on the side here. I'm going to do an actual video of this before it goes. Can't do this one-handed, but it's very, very cool. And in fact, when I first saw this actually around my friend of mine, Martin's, I was absolutely blown away. It's a very unusual game. It looks beautiful. It looks stunning, actually. but it's the gameplay's quite slow. I don't know. It's you know, when you're used to playing games like Robotron, which are such faster paced games, for me it's just doesn't give it to me. So that is going to go to a good home hopefully, but good to get that going. Mark did a fantastic job in getting that going. Pretty much every chip on that game has been replaced. So yeah, but what I might do actually, guys, I might bring Sky Skipper into this corner and separate it from the rest. I don't know, I just feel like Sky Skipper needs to be in its own space. So looking around, guys, as you can see, I've got a really cool setup now. I've got a big widescreen TV here. I've got Bang & Olufsen on that side. It's at the moment playing Star Wars on the Super Nintendo. And I've got the NES running Balloon Fight and Mario Kart on the Switch. Don't like those curtains, they've got to go, really, really ugly. But I've got all my consoles in these shelving units here, which is cool. Nice and clean, easy access for gameplay. Over in this corner, I've got a little display unit that I picked up from a charity shop. It's a little bit too small actually, because there's quite a big space here, so I might change that and get a bigger one eventually. Take those two shelves down. You've got to maximise your space. I mean, I just picked this up at a charity shop for 30 quid, so it'll do me for now. But it's really good for the Amiibo actually, because it keeps the dust off them. It's a nightmare dusting all of these back in the other place. But it's really cool to have all these set up. So that is near complete Smash Brothers lineup, bar coring. I haven't got coring. Down here I've got a lovely SNES Classic, the American one, the Power one, and the NES Classic, and the American Nintendo 3DS Extra Large, and the Japanese Nintendo 3DS Extra Large. I'm just missing the Power one and the Japanese Classic. Down here I've got NES Control Deck and Mattel Zapper, and at the bottom here I've got a very rare New York first edition of the entertainment system, the Deluxe Entertainment with Rob the Robot. That is quite rare. Up here I've got Mario there. I'm not sure about having this up here yet, the Metroid gunship. That'll probably get moved at some point. I've got Virtual Boy. I've got this really cool Wild Gunman box set and the Famicom Mini box set. Both of them just missing volume 2. And then over here I've got a little display. Again, I'm not sure whether I'll keep it like this, but I've got my Sky Skipper Project Louisville Slugger. It's got the genuine Nintendo Arcade Louisville Slugger embossed on there. A few Game & Watch. A Bellfruit Sheriff Nintendo Marquee. I've got this Super Smash Brothers picture up here, which doesn't go in this room, so I'm going to sell that. So if any of you guys are interested in that, you're welcome to it. The frame is worth more than the picture. The frame cost me about 100 quid, to be honest with you, but I'm happy to do a deal on it. It just doesn't work in this room, so that will go. And I'm looking to get some more sort of concept art up there. Got the Zelda first of figures up there and a Ganondorf, and then spanning round here you can see all my consoles there on that shelf. Then on this side I've got my Nintendo wall, so I've got 4 SNES consoles up there in various states. My whole Super Nintendo collection, which is about 150 American SNES games and about 50 Japanese SNES games. Just to pick out a few there, I've got Pocky Rocky 1 and 2, which are my favourites. Space Megaforce, brilliant game. Super Bonk, I mean they're all brilliant. Rendering Ranger, Ninja Warriors. I did a video, actually my last video did my whole collection if you want to see how many games I've got and what I've got. And then below that I've got a NES collection, not that big, a few box games there. I'd love to complete the Black Label collection. Some loose NES games. I've got all my books, my Super Play collection, which is missing about 2 to be complete. I've got manuals there, operation manuals, the sheriff manual, loads of books, loads of guides. I've got original Crash there in the corner, number 1. Loads of NES manuals, some Game Boy Advance NES classics, and then a bit of lighting that goes around there, and a Dungeons and Dragons marquee. I've got my Crash picture signed by Oliver Frey, and then I've got my Retro Gamer magazine signed by everyone at Retro Gamer, because I was in that issue, which is cool. And then on this side, this is the added bonus, because I've never had this in the other room, an extra wall for all my games here. And it's the first time ever I've been able to display my Sinclair Spectrum collection, which is the absolutely love of my life. It was when I was a kid. I absolutely loved the Sinclair Spectrum. All these games up here that you see I brought with my money back in the day, with my paper round money. I've never sold them, I've kept hold of them, they've always been up in the loft, but I've managed to drag them down. And these are some of my favourites here. Rebel Star by Julian Gollop, Bruce Lee, Jet Set Willy, Buggy Boy, Scuba Dive, brilliant game. Rebel Star, another Julian Gollop game. Ghostbusters, Saboteur, brilliant game. Thunderbirds, Chaos, that was absolutely my favourite game on the Sinclair Spectrum. Way of Exploding Fist, Attic Attack, Lunar Jetman, Wheelie, Chucky Egg, Ant Attack, Chiller, Checkered Flag, another classic. Brilliant system. I love that console. Looking down here, I mean, I haven't arranged this exactly how I want it yet. I've just basically got them all out of the boxes and just stuck them up there on the shelves for now. A few DVDs there. I love Robin of Sherwood, Lord of the Rings, a few Dungeons and Dragons and Blood Bowl manuals there, a few arcade sticks, a few little early Nintendo knickknacks like some playing cards and pin badges. Xenoblade Chronicles, the big box. A few Game Boys at the top there. My Wii U. The Wii, the classic with a Donkey Kong, Zelda, GameCube, and an early TV game by Nintendo. One of their first ever consoles they ever made. Then looking down here, I've got my DS collection. Do love my DS. My Virtual Boy, which I'm hoping to finish this year. More DS games. All the Castlevanias there. Look, I do love the American boxes of the DS games. So much better. The ends are just so much better than these boring white ones. But yeah, I love the 3DS. It's such a great system. Code of Princess, just started playing that. That is a brilliant game. And then down here I've got Game Boy Advance. Not many, but hoping to build it up a bit more this year. Some lovely Japanese Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games, Metroid and F-Zero, Climax, which we didn't get here in the UK, it was Japanese only. And then some more Japanese Game Boy games. These are really nice. Love the artwork on these. And then my little small Famicom disc system starting to build up there. Zelda. My Switch collection. Just reached 10 games on the Switch. So I've got Super Mario Galaxy, Mario and Rabbids, Simora, Binding of Isaac, Legend of Zelda, ARMS, Splatoon, Xenoblade Chronicles, Elder Scrolls, which just picked up recently, it's really good, and Mario Kart Deluxe. And then I've got my Wii U games. I've got my Wii U set up. I'm probably going to box that up pretty soon because I know for sure they're going to bring out most of these games on the Switch. And I just can't stand all the wires behind the back of the TV, so I'll probably box this up soon. The only games I'd really go back to the Wii U are at the moment is Smash Brothers. but you know for sure that's going to come out. Bayonetta's coming out. Mario Kart 8's out, so there's no real reason to go back to the Wii U, I don't think. And what else we've got? GameCube games, not many. Kind of done with that system really. There's a few maybe I might pick up if they're cheap. My Wii collection, which I quite like. Nice copy there of Sin and Punishment. If you actually got that, you can actually just turn the cover around. You get the Japanese cover on the other side if you didn't know. Yeah, really, really cool system. Love the Wii. So that's it, guys. So this is the new Nintendo Arcade. It's nice and neat. It's got a different feel about it. Obviously, the red paint, the purple paint in the other arcade was kind of funky, really cool with all the lighting. I will get that in this room, but it will be in a slightly different style. That's all, because it's in the house. You know, it's got to be acceptable, if you like, as a dwelling, as not just an arcade, if you like. But it's getting there. It's really cool. I like it. It's a nice space. It's a much bigger space, and looking forward to expand it and getting it looking really cool this year. Hoping to have a few meets over here, a few parties with people who can come over and play and hang out. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. That is the new Nintendo Arcade. Right, that's it for this week's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it took so long, but you know, moving house does take a while. But now I'm back up and running, got the old arcade set up. I should have a video out at least once a week. I'm really looking forward to actually getting back on the old tube. So yeah, really, really cool. I've also got a game room tour coming up, so I'm back on it, guys. Totally back on it. But I just want to say a huge thank you to Ben. You know you are, mate. Without you, this move wouldn't happen. Also John, for fixing my games. I really appreciate it, mate. You're a top bloke. And all for all my new subs and everyone that supported me and emailed me and messaged me on my last video, because everyone thought I was a bit down. I was a bit down, actually. I was really down, but it turned out, worked out all right in the end. So we're here, we're back doing videos. Look forward to it. I look forward to the next video. Hope you can be there, guys. So I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Cheers.